today. With our unit of work, it's all based around natural disasters, and we felt like it was a really good thing to start in having a chat with our kids about the actual words, natural and disaster. So we thought disaster would be a great one.
Yep.
And we're wondering if we could have a chat with you today and just work through, what's that mean, how do we investigate that word, and move on from there.
Best way to start is with meaning. So what is disaster? So I'm thinking,
to me, it's when something goes wrong.
Yep, absolutely. It's not good.
Yeah, well, disaster doesn't usually come around when, we don't usually bring it up when it's a good thing, so we know it's in the negative.
It's one of those things where you can, depends on the context, was that actually how extreme we mean the word. I mean, that lesson I taught yesterday was a disaster, and also that earthquake was a disaster. And obviously they're quite different, but given the context, people listening can say, oh, well, when he says that lesson was a disaster, we kind of know what he means, and then when there was an earthquake was a disaster again. So it's not so black and white.
So there can be levels of disaster, like our catastrophe scale.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's good. So if you want to try to delve into where this word comes from, the base element of the word and things like that as well, obviously the best thing to do would be to do some Google searching. So I always like disaster dictionary, just right into Google. Obviously these are great, you know the kids won't have them at home, but looking something like that, if you want to look up something like that, Mr. Edge, that would be a great place to start. So what have you got up there, Mr.
And Yates, can you please come to the staff room? And can you please come to the staff room?
I've got just looking up just a dictionary definition of disaster.
Yep.
A sudden calamitous event bringing great damage, loss or destruction. And then it's got like natural disasters after that.
Okay, cool.
But it's also got, if we talk about it like Tim was saying, like a disaster, and it's got here like the party was a disaster. It's like a sudden or misfortune or failure. So there's that two levels of
And I have disaster comes from Italian disastro, meaning an ill-starred event.
Ill-starred.
Ill.
Ill, bad, sick, starred, like.
Would the ill be the dis?
Yeah, like dis, yeah.
There's disaster.
Do you think of like disapproval? Star. Alright, so
I've got a little bit more. I've just found here, it's got a did you know, disaster has its roots in the belief that the position of stars influence the fate of humans.
Okay, cool.
Often in destructive ways.
Destructive, okay.
Destructive
the star,
ways.
disaster, is the star.
Yeah, ill-starred event.
How many words do we get from Italian?
And I've spelled it wrong.
That's okay. It wasn't far off.
It's okay to make mistakes, kids.
And that's why I do literacy. Yeah. Disaster. Okay.
Yeah.
We haven't seen mistakes.
We don't make mistake in maths, only literacy. Alright, here we go. So we've got disaster. So what other words are you thinking?
Thinking in, so just to do with it?
Yeah, just when you think of it. If we've done a research, ill-starred event, bad, what are you thinking?
Just disastrous.
Disastrous.
But also anything, we naturally think about dis words.
Yep.
Being,
But do we just,
putting things in a negative
should we just be looking at words like bad and misfortune?
If you're thinking about words in the morphological family though, you need to think about, okay, well what would be the base element of this word? Is it disaster? Is that and then you've got disastrous? Like, you know, are you thinking like...
Distaste, like you had.
Yeah, well distaste, well you said dis. So are you saying, like, when you talked about distaste, are then you hypothesising that the DIS is...
Has an impact on
that's the prefix? If you're saying like it's got, so then you say maybe this bit here is aster, like ASTER. Well, What do you
So
think when
we've
you
got
see that?
disastrous, disasters, just putting the
Oh,
S
yeah.
on the end.
Yeah.
Disasters,
Dastardly. Is that where you're going?
No, there's disaster.
Well, hey. When you said about start event,
Yeah,
okay, so I'm thinking
Oh.
of,
I know.
Astro-
Asteroid.
yeah, it has to do with stars.
Asteroid.
So if I'm thinking like you're talking, this bit here means start event, ill start. Like we talked about dis being bad, so we've got bad star.
Yes.
Like that's what I'm thinking, so maybe that's the base element.
Yeah.
Because then you've got
So what word comes from asteroid?
asteroid, yep, oid, and we know what oid is.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of an asterisk.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
you know,
star.
a little asterisk, just a little star we put on things.
And also the theatre, the Astor Theatre is in Kilda.
Oh, and
OR, but it's where you go to see the stars in the movies back in the
so
day.
you're saying it's ASTOR.
That's the spelling of that.
Well then, could
Is it
you
AST?
hypothesise that it's AST and that ER is actually a suffix? Because we know that ER is a suffix.
But I wonder, because it's a proper noun, the Astor Theatre, I wonder if
Okay,
it's
so they've played on words a bit.
maybe.
Yep. Because it is the name of something opposed to actual words. So what we're doing here, it doesn't matter what we get right and wrong. Like we're going to do, like you might look on Edom Online. That's a great way to start. You might just write in disaster dictionary and see what Google comes up with. When you scroll down to word origins, it might. But if you hypothesise that, because we know that DIS is a prefix, we've got distaste, disagree. So you can prove that this is a prefix no matter what.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like you could
Okay.
write word sums and you could come up with that, but it's whether you think it's this or whether you think this is the base element. And it doesn't matter, but the fact that we've already come to the conclusion that it's a bad star, a disaster is something that's bad and it's something that's a start event, it's unfortunate event.
Yeah.
So already with disaster
Yeah,
we've
like,
come
and
to
then,
that.
as Rob said, the meaning an ill-starred event. So
Yep.
it's not, I guess, a star, you know, something that's
Ah.
great.
So Mr. Reg has looked up visu words, which is awesome. So disaster, catastrophe. Ooh, catastrophe. Like that's not very similar. It's got the AST in there, but would cat be a prefix?
Wasn't Cata
Cata. Yeah, well you've got catapult to turn.
cataclysmic?
Cataclysmic. Then that would be another thing that would go down the
Ooh, act of God.
act of God. It says a meltdown,
Mm.
famine, misfortune. So you got all those.
Kiss of death.
Ooh.
It's related to the footy tipping.
So on Etym Online,
Yep.
it's got that it came from the
Astron.
start with astron,
Yep.
which was Greek,
Astro.
Italian, and then they added the dis on,
Yep.
and it became disastro, which was the ill start. So it had dis, which was the ill, astro, which was the star planet, then it became disaster.
And because back where you're looking at, so if you typed in disaster in Edom Online, obviously if you scroll down you get this time lapse. Like because it's Italian,
Yeah.
they usually end in road. Like, you know, so
Yeah.
when we changed it, when it went down into an English language, often they would change those endings into more common things we use in English, like ER.
Yeah.
So
And the French had the RE, and then it went to the ER for us.
Yeah, it did.
So
and they
swapped-
still
we
maintain
swapped
that
over.
language today.
Yeah.
So already by looking at disaster, that it doesn't matter what you like. You could do some word sums now, and you could argue that it's DIS plus AST plus ER. You might just hypothesise that it's DIS plus AST ER,
Yeah.
and it's both fine. It's the fact that we've got right down to the meaning. So then when we add things like disasters, we can add another suffix of the OUS or the S. But it gets us, we've got right down into the grit of what a disaster is now. So now when we go into, if your kids wanted to hypothesise natural, for natural disasters, they're going to get an even in-depth understanding of what a natural disaster is, knowing that it's a sudden bad event.
And what was the one that we went on when we got the whole list of the words associated again?
It's by that same guy as well, Neil, my bestie.
Yeah.
Word searcher. So if you just type in word searcher, so in word searcher you might type in, you might want to give it a go. You might want to type in
Neil Ramsden.
Neil Ramsden. Yeah, Neil Ramsden. Yeah. So if you typed in that, which Asta, I don't think it's actually a word on its own. It would be a bound-based element, is it?
Well, with it, oh, it is because.
Yeah, but it's not. If we're hypothesising that it's like
okay,
this,
right, sure.
if whether we're hypothesising the base element is this or this, we're hypothesising that they're bound-based elements, that they're not words on their own.
Yeah.
Whereas
No,
something
it's not.
like
it's not coming up on its own.
so it's going to be a bound-based element.
The only words that are coming into it that would be to do with it are asterix and asteroid.
Yeah.
It's got disaster, asteroids, yeah.
Does it have anything else with disaster? Disastrous, disasters?
It's just got, what if I put disaster in?
Yeah. Go for that.
And I'm also thinking of dismal.
Dismal. Oh.
It's
Disaster
another
only
else.
comes up with disaster and
Okay.
disaster.
Dismal. Yeah, definitely.
Dismal.
It's an interesting one, Taryn. Astern. So it's using that ASTR, and then with the N at the end is the front of the boat. And so it's, you know, can you put that astern? So can you put it at the front of the boat? So the front, the star.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's something positive. You know, you're at the front, you're leading light, kind of thing.
So
Maybe.
maybe I don't know. If it's
Maths
like,
is a lot more black and white.
it is. So now I'm going with, okay, so you want the students, we've done the whole thing around disaster, which I think was quite a complex one, so it's probably good that we've done that.
Yeah.
Whereas you want your students to go with natural.
Yeah. We'd love you all
Just
to...
Before we go, astern is the back of the boat.
So not what
No,
you were thinking.
new,
No.
but it's
Good to talk out.
good to talk it out and
Don't
good
know
to check
much.
on it. Thanks, Rob, for checking on it because
I don't feel-
send anyone get on the wrong word.
But interestingly,
Just
it's
six
backwards. So when we do have a disaster, often things we do go backwards in our professions.
See,
Yeah,
we're
would that
making
be
it work.
Would that be the dis bit that makes
Yeah.
it go backwards?
Not
Yeah, that's
so.
the not.
Yeah.
So what we, excuse me, what we would like you to do, everyone, is after you've watched this and seen how we've gone through our word inquiry, our investigation, which is exactly what we would do if we were in class together, we'd love you to all look at the word natural and do your own investigation. Have a look on, look on the dictionary. Speak to other people at home. What do they think natural means? Have a think about.
Write it in blank.
Have a think about places that you've gone on while you've been here. Etam Online, the Neil Ramsden. Start to really investigate and see if you can come up with the base element of natural. We'd love to see what you find out. We will be checking in with you and to have a talk about that as a class. Please make sure that you're putting all your information down. So in either on a document or you can put it in one of the workbooks. I'm trying to think what we've got at home. But we'd love to see what you've got and be able to really have that great discussion, just as we would back in school, but we'll be doing it online. So have fun.
Yeah, definitely. And the thing that I can say the most important, start with your meaning. Hypothesise words that you think would be in the same morphological family. And then from there, maybe try to have a go at writing some word sums, because that's when you'll realise, oh, but how does that work? And you might notice that there's, you've added a vocalic suffix, so you would have had to double that last consonant sometimes. Like, you'll start to see, or maybe you had an E on it, so you had to get rid of that non-syllabic E. You'll start to see patterns evolving when you start writing down some word sums, or, you go, oh, that can't be it. So have a go, have a play. It's the best way to learn.
Have fun. Looking forward to seeing what you can find out.
Thanks,
And
guys.
thanks to the wonderful Miss Kidner.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, gosh. I'll go do some more spelling. Thanks, guys.